Thanks for joining us today on this Wednesday morning. I hope you're all having a nice morning. And thanks for joining us on this webinar on ISO 19650 and BIM collaboration and how this can enhance your team efficiency. So my name is Stephen Conlon, and I am a BIM and digital integration consultant here at Pentagon Solutions. I've been working here at Pentagon for just over 2 years. I've previously worked at civil structural design offices for 8+ years, and I've been able to transfer these skills over to Pentagon, as well as expand my knowledge on all of these major topics within the industry. Beside me here is my colleague, Sean Taggart, and we are both going to be taking you through this webinar today. So I'll allow Sean to introduce himself here now.
Thank you, Stephen. So I am also a BIM and digital integration consultant here at Pentagon, although I've been here a little less than Stephen. I've been here around 1 year. But I have over 5 years of experience working for both architectural practices and specialist contractors, and have a key design role in the delivery of hyperscale data centers, clean and dry rooms.
Okay, so we'll explain a wee bit about Pentagon here for the next 2 slides. So on screen, you can see here is what we call the Pentagon wheel, and describes the different areas that Pentagon are involved in. So we've got our data management and document control. So we support and set up these systems for different companies, all the way from energy industry to the pharmaceutical industry. We're also involved with asset integration. So this would be integrating your assets to an engineering asset management system through a system like a GIS. We've also got BIM CDEs. So this is the setting up and managing of BIM common data environments for certain companies and projects. And then as well, we've got digital project collaboration. So this is helping your company collaborate their projects efficiently to mitigate errors and downtime, whether on-site or off-site, as this is very important for the successful delivery of a project. And we also got change management of digital assets. This will be helping your digital assets post-construction through COBie data, as this is a vital part of handover, facility management and operations of a building post-construction. We here at Pentagon, we're digital construction integrators, so we've got 20+ years of industry experience. We are known as digital construction integration experts. What we want is to establish a connected single source of truth, which is what everybody wants. We've got proven BIM processes within the real world. We want to identify and reduce risk and safety issues. Eliminate information bottlenecks or silos of unusable data. We want high fidelity data. We want data that's going to be useful to us, not stuff that's not useful to us. We also want to improve project performance and increase profitability. And all this is through the power of digital data. So we want to connect design through to operation. So this is our agenda for today, so you can see it on screen. But today we want to share with you the benefits of using ISO 19650 and BIM collaboration tools, as these are to be used to enhance your team's efficiency, ensuring projects get finished on time, mitigating any errors and downtime for projects, as this is key for all projects, especially in the era we're in today, where data management is king. So I'll now pass you on to my colleague Sean, who will get us started into ISO 19650.
Thank you, Stephen. So firstly, we're going to look at what actually is ISO 19650. So as you can see on the screen there, it's an international standard for managing information over the whole life cycle of a built asset using BIM or building information modeling. So that's what it is, but why do you want to use it? Because it will provide a framework or collaborative working, and it will ensure that all parties involved in the design, construction and operation of the building and infrastructure can effectively share and manage project information. The standard improves efficiency, it reduces risks, and it standardizes how information is created, exchanged and stored. So that's what it is, but why do you want to use it? So it'll improve your efficiency by streamlining processes, defining roles and responsibilities, reducing duplication of effort and minimizing errors. It'll create a collaborative work environment, foster a collaborative culture by implementing a structured framework for information exchange, thereby enhancing teamwork and cooperation. The communication will enhance throughout the team, as there'll be clear protocols for standards, information sharing, ensuring all team members have access to accurate and up-to-date information. Consistency and quality will improve as it will promote consistent practices and high quality information across the project lifecycle, leading to better project outcomes. Look at mitigating risks as your information is standardized, reducing the likelihood of misunderstandings or mistakes, and then that ultimately avoids the costly delays and reworks that we see so often. It also makes everything a bit more transparent, and accountability is higher as there's clear, defined information requirements, deliverables, enhancing accountability among the team members. And lastly, your project asset management. It facilitates the management of information right from the design the whole way through operation, supporting for better decision making and asset management throughout the whole life cycle. So we've looked at what it is and why it might benefit you, but how do you start implementing this? So I've listed a few of my favorite implementation best practices, and I'm just going to take you through some of them now. So firstly, you need to get the leadership commitment. You need to get the green light from the top management to allocate essential resources and backing for the implementation of ISO 19650. Then you need to have training and education. So you have to get all your team members to undergo training in the principles and practices of ISO 19650 so they can fully comprehend their roles and responsibilities within the framework of the project. You need to implement clear information requirements, so define document information requirements right from the start of the project. All stakeholders must understand what is expected so we can effectively work together. You need to implement collaborative planning, so you have to involve all relevant parties in the planning process to foster a collaborative environment, and this ensures all perspectives and parties are considered. We'll look at information management protocols. So you need to establish well-defined protocols, such as standardizing your naming conventions, file formats, and the exchange of data processes. Implementation of CDEs, or common data environments, to store and manage project information, ensuring that it's accessible, it's secure, and it's always up to date. Following this, you'll need to implement regular reviews and audits. So conduct regular reviews and audits of information management practices to ensure that compliance is met with ISO 19650, and it also allows you to identify any areas for improvement. You'll have to implement technology integration, so leveraging the appropriate BIM tools and technologies that support the ISO 19650 requirements, ensuring that they're all integrated into your workflow. And lastly, continuous improvement. So you have to adopt a continuous improvement mindset, regularly updating your processes and practices based on the feedback learned from the ongoing projects. So now that I've discussed briefly what ISO is, how you might implement it, and how you might want it, I'm going to pass back to Stephen, and he's going to look at some of the BIM collaboration platforms that are available to us at this moment.
Okay, so now, as you all may know, there's a plethora of different BIM collaboration platforms that are used throughout the world. So depending on the project you're working on, you might use a multitude of these BIM collaboration platforms in order to exchange data through the process of the project and all the way through to operations. Now, some of these might be like, just common data environments, but then others might be have automated workflows, so it might be slightly more what we call mature. So there's here at Pentagon, we have an actual team dedicated to an engineering document management system called Accruent Meridian. So we set up the Meridian and we support people who have this system in. So what we've done is we've prepared a short video which will demonstrate the power of an engineering document management system such as Accruent Meridian, which fully supports ISO 19650 workflows, including annexes for UK and Ireland. So we'll play this wee video for you. And so this is the Lightpower web client. So this is the web part of Meridian. And what we'll do here is we're going to go to, and we'll create a new document. So for the purposes of this, we've got an engineering document, ISO 19650, that we'll choose. Now again, we're going to show it in AutoCAD, but you can also do this for Revit as well. So this is for AutoCAD. We'll hit next, and as you can see, this is the national annex for ISO 19650. It's already pre-populated, so it knows that I'm in WIP, and we're putting in a project number here, project location, your uni class. Now again, this can actually be a drop down, but we actually are just inputting this ourselves. But if we were to input that wrong, it would actually wouldn't allow us to actually input it at all. So we'll put our originator, functional breakdown, spatial breakdown, form, discipline, and then we'll put a wee description. So that'll be our title sheet. So this will synchronize with our title sheet within, so for this purposes of this is AutoCAD, but as you can see there, it's created our folder structure for us. And again, it's in the first revision. So now we're going to go on to AutoCAD. We'll open this up. So the Meridian application is integrated into AutoCAD, and this is what's known as the vault. So this is where it's stored. And we'll open that up. And then, as you can see, it has pre-populated our title sheet. Now, this can actually do for, if you had like 100 sheets or whatever you have in the actual project itself. Again, what we'll do here now as well, so it's fully bi-directional. So if I was to change, as we'll do here now, we'll change something on the title sheet. It will actually, if we save and release it, it will actually go back into the actual web client itself and update the information in there. So we hit save and release. So we change that to site grid layout. And we'll go back here and we go into the drawing on the web client. And we go to the ISO 19650 National Annex. As you can see, the description there has changed to the site grid layout, which is what we changed it to. And again, we can edit those properties on here as well. So for the folder details, if we change, let's say we put into the wrong project. So instead of East 01A, it's East B01. So we'll change that. We'll just change the wee project to be EI, and we'll change the originator. Yeah, so we'll change that. We'll apply that, and we'll click OK. And then you'll see here now. So the folder actually automatically updates. So as you can see there, but again, the actual name of the file hasn't changed because there's an extra step involved with that. So you issue a new file name. So it's all, so a user can't accidentally do that, change the actual name of it or anything like that. It has to be approved. And again, you can also add revisions. So this can be applied to the standard as well. So there's major revisions and minor revisions. So you can add in the revisions there. And again, it will update with the revision number. And again, as well with ISO 19650, audit trails are very important. So this logs all the changes that have been made. That's just a small video that we put together. So Meridian builds the naming convention based on the metadata provided, understands the status and revision workflows. So yeah, again, that was done with AutoCAD, but you can do it with Revit or with other BIM authoring tools as well. Now, that's just one example for a BIM collaboration platform that's more mature in terms of ISO 19650. So now we're going to move on to data management and sharing. So how this is vital when it comes to BIM collaboration tools and being ISO 19650 compliant. So efficient strategies and secure data sharing practices. For efficient data management strategies, there are a few different data management strategies which must be noted to ensure data management is done safely and efficiently within BIM collaboration tools. So data standardization, so you want standard file formats like IFC to ensure interoperability between BIM authoring tools and platforms. Metadata and naming conventions, so establish consistent metadata standards and naming conventions to improve data organization. Again, we also want access control and permissions, so role-based access, so define roles and permissions of who can view, edit, and manage different types of data. And again, we want audit trails, so we want to track changes and data access, which helps maintain data integrity and accountability, which is a big thing for ISO 19650. So data validation and quality control. So we want automated checks, so validation tools to check for data consistency, and again audits to ensure accuracy, completeness, and adherence to project standards. Scalability and performance optimization, so ensure that the data management infrastructure can scale with the project complexity and size. And then obviously performance monitoring, so monitor system performance and optimize data processing. And then again, data security and backup, so encryption to protect sensitive data, and again, implement regular backup procedures to prevent data loss. So when I go on to our next slide, which is just some important secure data sharing practices, which should be looked at to ensure BIM collaboration tools that you've used can protect your data. So a big one again, encryption. So we want to use strong encryption protocols to protect both our data, both at rest and during transmission. Again, access control and authentication. So access control is just the same as the previous slide, but authentication, we want multi-factor authentication for BIM platforms to add an extra layer of security beyond usernames and passwords, as well as a single sign-on to streamline authentication. And again, as we mentioned before, audit trails and monitoring, so login and auditing, very important. So get logs of data access and modifications to monitor for unauthorized activities. And then, real-time monitoring tools to detect unusual and suspicious activities. Again, and then data anonymization and masking. So where possible, we want to anonymize data to remove personally identifiable information before sharing, reducing the risk of sensitive information being exposed. And as well, data masking, we want to apply data masking techniques to hide sensitive information from unauthorized users. And then within the collaboration tools, it can be integrated security features such as encryption, access control, and again, we want end-to-end encryption for any communication tools we're using to protect the contents of discussions, compliance with standards and regulations. So we want to follow industry-specific standards and best practices to ensure comprehensive security measures are in place. And then we want, regular security training for users, just so they're aware of potential threats and how to handle information securely. And again, incident response plans. So develop and maintain an incident response plan to quickly address and mitigate any data breaches. And then conduct regular drills and reviews of the incident response plan to ensure readiness and effectiveness. By integrating these secure data sharing practices, BIM collaboration platforms can protect sensitive information, maintain the integrity of project data, and ensure compliance with relevant standards and regulations, such as ISO 19650. But now I will pass you on to my colleague Sean, who will go through a few techniques for optimizing your BIM workflows.
Thank you, Stephen. So I'm going to take you through a few of my favorite optimization techniques for your workflows that you can bring on. This will significantly increase efficiency, collaboration, and overall quality of the construction projects. So firstly, the use of a CDE to store and manage all project information in a single location. This ensures all stakeholders have access to the latest data, as well as they're able to leverage cloud-based BIM platforms to facilitate real-time collaboration and data sharing. This then reduces delays caused by information silos. You can also use automated clash detection tools to identify and resolve conflicts between different building systems. Or if you really want to dive deeper into it, you can start to use scripted workflows such as Dynamo for Revit to automate repetitive tasks such as model updates, data extraction, and quality checks. So collaboration and communication is also another huge workflow that needs to be streamlined. So use real-time collaboration tools that allow multiple stakeholders to work on the same model simultaneously. This will start improving coordination, reducing rework, and in addition to this, you can start integrating communication platforms such as Microsoft Teams or Gmail. This starts to facilitate the quick and efficient communication among multiple project teams. When it comes to performance optimization, you can optimize your BIM models by reducing the file sizes and then purging unused elements. You can also then simplify complex geometries. This will start to improve the performance of your models. But ultimately, you need to be aware that the hardware and software should ensure it should be up to date and should be capable of handling large BIM models and complex BIM softwares. We can then start to look at advanced technologies such as the use of virtual and augmented reality. This will start to allow you to visualize your BIM models in immersive environments. It'll start to improve your design validation, reduce errors again, and ultimately it creates greater stakeholder engagement. Lastly, feedback and continuous improvement by regular project reviews and post-mortem analyses to identify areas of improvement in BIM workflows. Also incorporating the feedback from all stakeholders to refine processes and address any workflow bottlenecks. So we've looked at what BIM is and what it's like and how ISO 19650 is included in it and what it's like currently at the minute. But how do we see the future of ISO 19650? So we're going to start to see a wider global adoption. So more countries are going to start adopting ISO 19650 as a key part of their construction asset management processes. It's going to lead to a more standardized global approach. You're going to start to see technology advancements such as digital twin technologies. So this is integration with digital twin technologies. So it's like a real-time digital replica of the physical assets. In addition to this, there's going to be artificial intelligence. It's going to start improving and the automation of BIM processes to improve efficiency, accuracy, and predictive maintenance. Collaboration tools are going to start to be enhanced. So I know we looked at the cloud-based systems earlier, but I think we're going to start to see a further increase of cloud-based platforms that facilitate collaboration among stakeholders regardless of their location. And interoperability. So it's going to start to improve between different BIM softwares, allowing seamless data exchange and communication across project teams. And lastly, regulatory and policy support. So more governments are likely to mandate the use of ISO 19650 for public projects, driving wider adoption in the private sector, as well as continued development of policies and guidelines that support the implementation and compliance with ISO 19650. So we've took you through ISO 19650, how it is now, the benefits for you, and the future of it. So I'm going to pass you back to Stephen. He's going to tell you how us at Pentagon can help you.
Okay, so yeah, how can Pentagon help you in your business in regards to ISO 19650 and BIM collaboration platform? So we employ a structured approach to information management, ensuring that all project information is accurate, accessible, and aligned with ISO 19650 standards. So in terms of information management, we assist clients in identifying and articulating their information requirements, ensuring they receive the precise data needed for decision-making and asset management. Our team supports the transition from project information model to asset information model, maintaining information fidelity and usability. We have helped clients in the past on specific projects, managing their information, or we've been actually employed by a client to act as an information manager. In terms of ISO 19650 compliance, so this is critical for structured management of information throughout the life cycle of built asset. So we have helped organizations align with the prescriptive guidelines set out in ISO 19650 national annexes for UK and Ireland, include naming conventions, classifications, revisions, and metadata management. So assessment, planning, implementation, and training. So these consultancy services have helped our clients in the past to understand information management and its importance, completing projects on time and to the necessary requirements.